Welcome back. Yes, sir. You know where we at. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Before we get started, we just getting ready. We getting warmed up over here. Getting ready for it. There we go. Alright, that works. Yes. Let's get straight to it. Hold on. I'll make sure my mic don't start peeking and tweaking. Guys, welcome back to the CSM365 from college. Only got 20 minutes ago. Just seems like right there. Alright, I don't want to be sounding too loud. I don't want to sound too loud. Vegas. So we got everything set for that. So that's it. Oh. experience tonight. We have a definitely break down. So breaking it and we get ready for week 6 of CFP. I mean, college football is only getting more exciting. We're talking about action packed. Mouse. Is it? No. We having technical. What's going Yeah, we made we ready. All right. Finally, we've stopped. Thank you. Welcome to the CSM365 Breakdown Clutch Blitz College Blitz CSM365 Breakdown. The review. If you don't know, this is week 5. Well, we're about to dive into the breakdown and review. You see it up there on the screen. We bringing it anything. We're going straight to these top 25. The top 25. Let me refresh over here on the tube. I want to see. I like to see the little analytics pop up on the side screen. Okay. So, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Did we just die? Did we just die on the hill or something? Because it said we're. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. We're back. And 3, 2, 1. All right, Jay's perspective and my clutch fanatics. The boom boom. The welcome back. The CSM365 breakdown. The we are officially to week 6 of the college football season. Yes, it is getting good. All right, hold on. I gotta get. I'm getting a little too peaky over here. See, it's peaking a little too bad over there. It doesn't sound good on the replay. All right, so now, so let's see how we sound. All right. Anyway, make sure we got a good sound. All right. How about now? All right. Anyway, guys. So let me get over into this top 25, folks. Wait a minute. All right. Now we're talking top AP associate poll. Mm-hmm. You guys see it on the screen, right? Hold on. Wait. Make sure everybody sees it. All right. Much of nothing has changed. All right. Much of nothing has changed with the top 25. Okay. And it's not that it's a bad thing that nothing has changed. You understand what I'm saying? Ohio State still on number one. Oregon Ducks move up to number two, bumping Miami down to three. Then we have Ole Miss moving up 9 spots after beating LSU. The upset is real. Oklahoma, they get up there now. They move up 2 spots. Texas A&M move up 3 spots. Penn State, after they lose to Oregon, surprisingly, they move down 4 spots. Anybody want to tell me why? Well, I got this hum up in here, son. All right. So, oh damn, I won't be that loud. All right. Okay, about right there. I don't want to be too loud, and I don't want it to sound bad on the end because it doesn't sound good right now to me. But we're already here, folks. We're already here, and too late to turn back now. So, like I said, with Penn State losing, they fall 4 spots to number 7, Indiana, who has been on a mission as of late. They've been tearing and belt to feet. They're up 3 spots, number 8, and then we have Texas moving up 1 spot to 9. Alabama moving up 7 spots to number 10. That gives you your top 10 right there. Now, in the AFCA, which is the coaches poll, Alabama is 11, and Georgia, who, of course, lost to Alabama, is still ranked. Don't get me, I'm not even getting involved into the politics of how that works because I don't get it. However, look at 11, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, they're up a spot. Georgia moves 7 spots down to 12. LSU falls 9 spots to 13. Iowa State at 14. Tennessee 15. The Volunteers, Vanderbilt, pardon me, is up 2 spots to 16. Georgia Tech drops 1 spot to 17. Florida State, after their loss on Friday night to UVA, falls 10 spots to number 18. Mm. Missouri is up a spot. Michigan, they move us down 1 spot. Well, I don't get, I do not like the polls, but this is Tuesday, folks. All right. And then we have Notre Dame with a nice win, moving up a spot to 21. Illinois on the win, moving up a spot to 22. BYU up 2 spots to 23. Virginia making the polls, 24 after that win. And Arizona State, after their win beating TCU Friday night, which we'll get into, they're now 25. So when we look at the polls say a whole different story. Uh-oh. Hold up. We got a little technical difficulty. Well, not really. Let me see how it sounds. Let me see how it sounds. Oh, wait, we got, yeah. All right. So, like I said, we have our top 25, and our sounds is done. All right. So, yeah, we did have a little technical. My soundboard died for some reason, and it still sounds like it's all the way up. Let me turn it down all the way back down. All right. There we go. All right. So, okay. There we go, guys. Now it sounds better. Now, again. Just making sure we catch up. Did we catch up? All right. So, as I sit and look at the AP top 25, getting ready for week 6, and looking at this the top 10, just alone. Okay, Ohio, Oregon, Miami, Ole Miss. Well, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I could see. Penn State, not so much. Indiana and Texas and Alabama, they've been tested. Georgia, well, they've just been tested. Texas Tech, they've not been tested. So I'm not going to say that I'm sold on the top 10. Mm-mm. I feel that they should have took a more of a walk down the trail because it doesn't really fit. It doesn't. All right, anyway, we're going to get straight to the script, but folks, this is wow. I just had to get that in there first. I want everybody to really look at this. Look at injustice. This is not fair. Penn State lost to Oregon, a good opponent, and they only dropped to 7. We can't complain, right? Sure. Mm-hmm. I'm right. I got the night. Don't sound too horrible tonight. I'm not killing your ears, right? Thank you. All right, that sounds decent. All right. So now, as we know what the top 25 looks like, let me show you how we got to this top 25. Let me break down and review how we got to the top 25 where we're at right now. Okay. So, boom, boom, boom. It's the kind of energy. That's corny. I know. I just figured it'd be like animated starting off something, right? Right? Uh, week 5 delivered us some chaos, redemption, heartbreak, and more plot twists than Netflix. So let's break it down. Virginia pulled off the double overtime upset over number 8 Florida State 46 to 38. Friday night shocker. And now FSU's credibility is on the line. However, as we looked at the top 25, we know they dropped down to the teens. They're teenagers again. However, the double overtime Friday night shocker. I was in here like, what the heck? Because I thought that honestly, Florida State was going to pull off upset, because it was getting upset, and then you were like, oh wait, what just happened? And then not only that, right behind that, TCU lets Arizona punch them and get them. The only one who held on from that night was the Houston Cougars to go 4-0 the first time since a long time. And that would have been Friday night to kick off the week. And I was like, wow. So the talk was Florida State being shocked, stunned, upset, 46 to 38, double overtime. Tommy Castellano on the last play of the game throws a Hail Mary interception and they storm the field. It was what happened? What? It was one of those games where he was like, wow, this sets the tone for how the weekend would go out. Now, the next one, even more of a shocker because LSU traveled to Ole Miss. And on a gutsy fourth down call, a gutsy fourth down call. Listen to me. The Rebs win. The gutsy call pays off, and the Rebels win and shake up that SEC landscape. I was shocked too. I my I was sitting here clipping and dropping shorts and in between the game and was like, what did I just witness? And I witnessed Ole Miss upset LSU. I was shocked too. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on? I couldn't believe it, folks. I had to take it in. And then LSU falls to number 13. While Ole Miss improves to number 4. Number 4. So after LSU gets upset by Ole Miss, they drop to the teenage club. And Ole Miss, well, they shoot up to 4. Now, we get to the game that everybody was like, besides the Tennessee, and we'll talk about that. But the Alabama and Georgia. Ooh, Charlie Brown. You talk about some suspense. It was all that we thought it would go was. It all added up to what we expected it to be. And Alabama and Georgia did not let us down. Alabama reasserted itself, beating Georgia 24-21 in Athens. Now listen, it would have been in Tuscaloosa. I'd have been like, okay, Alabama, but to travel on the road into a hostile environment and get the job done was a redemption road. Because after losing to Florida State losing to Virginia, this makes it even more of you have to go out there and get the job done. You have to go and win, and you have to beat the best. And Alabama, like I said, reasserted themselves, beating Georgia 24-21 in Athens. That loss early in the season feels like ancient history now, especially with them losing to Virginia. Everybody shifted the focus because it's like, wait, you beat Alabama and then you lose to, whoa. And then, not only that, they have to face Miami coming up. Oh, yeah. So Florida State is not out the frying pan yet, folks. I said. Now, just when we were all focused on the dogs and the tide and seeing the tide roll, there was a whiteout going on, folks, in Penn State. There was a whiteout going. Salute to the whiteout, yo. Salute to the whiteout. Come on. There was a whiteout going in Penn State, and the Nittany Lions and the Oregon Ducks were facing off. I'm not going to say that we should ignore the fact that wherever sometimes that the college game day curse is real. I'm not going to say it, but it seems that certain times, certain schools who host game day, they end up losing. And Penn State coming into this contest ranked the way they were ranked, favored at home. The Ducks walked in there and took that number 2 right on top of them. That white was brown when they finished with them, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to lie to you. It was stunned faces. It was, did you hear that? They went from yelling, screaming, and mad noise. They went from about to storm to looking like, wait, what happened? As the Oregon Ducks took the air out of the room, they deflated that whiteout. You know what I'm saying? Like they took the white out. They took the white out. Now, guys, Oregon dethrones Penn State in a double OT sealed by the clutch's interception. Ducks are making series noise. Now, flashback with me last year. Remember the Ducks beat Ohio State, but that was in Oregon. This time they traveled to Penn State and they beat Penn State middle of the season. Now, not saying that Penn State is going to do some miraculous turn around this program and they're going to be more assertive and competitive and more on a kill, but it would be crazy to see that these two face off some kind of way in the college playoffs. It would just be crazy. But nevertheless, the Ducks dethroned State in double overtime. Similar to what we seen with Virginia. But listen, all jokes aside, it was sealed with an interception. Same way Castellano was sealed by an interception. Well, I told you that set the tone for the week. Friday night set the tone for the week, folks. I mean, we couldn't have a better slate. And just when you thought it wasn't that to you, not to be ignored. Arkansas, the Razorbacks, yes, the Razorbacks. They had Notre Dame. Now we all knew Notre Dame was coming in wounded. They looked like, wait a minute, they 0-2 is Notre Dame, but they come in with a win. So they're like 1-2, and we're like Notre Dame, and then Arkansas is favored at home. 56-13, Notre Dame would punish Arkansas, and it got ugly fast. Sam Pittman's seat just melted. Guys, when I say I clicked away for a second and it was horrible. It was nothing the Razorbacks could do to match Notre Dame that game. And that day, just that first slate of games was like enough just to have what we have today. Oh my goodness. All right, so now let's get to this part. What mattered, Oregon's interception, the dagger in overtime, that's not fortune, that's swagger. They're making a claim to Big Ten. Put some respect on it. I'm just saying, like last season, what they were doing, they were running and wrecking shop. This season, they're not missing a beat. They're not at all. So, oh my goodness. Bama's win over UGA. Is this their reset moment? They look like the team that's still dangerous. Georgia, they get a hit, but they get a bounce back because I think they get Florida coming up on the slate, and Florida looks like desperation. They look like 1 foot out the grave almost, like they're not there. Like Florida Gators, oh God. Ole Miss, they showed guts by handling business with Tennessee. That was some high leverage football that definitely gave them some inspiration. But if you thought that you were going to knock off Tennessee that easy, Ole Miss, and I'm sorry, I'm talking about Miss. I got I got a head. I'm thinking about Mississippi State, y'all. No, forgive me. Ole Miss upset LSU. They definitely did it. Okay, they're showing guts, and for that, that's that high leverage. And guess what? Now they feel like At number 4, they know they got a target on their back. They know that it's nothing going to be given to them. Everything's going to be harder. You thought you got by LSU? Oh boy. Mm-mm. I want to see how Ole Miss fares for the rest of the season. We're going to get to the schedules because I'm going to put it back up there. I want to see these things. I want to see next week's games too. All right. Virginia upset of FSU is the textbook of don't sleep on the underdog. FSU looks sluggish, maybe thinking ahead. That's a trap game classic because they have Miami up next. So I think that either they looked at Virginia and was like, "Oh, okay, we can beat them. We pretty much deal with them," and did not know because from start to finish, it was Virginia who jumped out to an early lead. It was Virginia who had Florida State behind the 8 ball. The fallout in Arkansas, you can't hide behind a bad day. So you had a bad day. The cameras don't lie. They wish they could turn it around. They need to turn it around. I mean, listen, it is going to be hard enough for Arkansas after getting obliterated by Notre Dame to bounce back in the SEC now. We're getting ready for October. Weather change, football atmosphere changes. Oh God, you picked the wrong time in the fucking meltdown. Pardon me, meltdown, guys. Um, this game can accelerate coaching changes if they don't figure it out. You know, and nowadays it's getting kind of ugly with these coaching firings because if you lose, and if you lose, and if you lose without any hope, oh my goodness, I guess you gonna be on the unemployment line looking for some hope. Now look, now what's the brackets out? If Oregon keeps this up, guys, because they're now number 2 ranked in the country, they're the dark horse. They're the dark duck. They're like Darkwing Duck. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Darkwing Duck, yes. Salute, yes, Darkwing Duck. Alabama can stay in the playoff conversation now that Georgia's path gets a little messier. Alabama now has a tall task ahead. They have Vanderbilt next. Yes, Georgia has Florida, but Georgia actually can beat Florida. We don't know if Vanderbilt is an upset. Mm. So FSU loss bleeds into the ACC picture. They're not invincible anymore. Guess what? They never were. And now Miami knows it. And now you have to go and play those people coming off of it. And you know that this is going to be really, really, really a teachable moment for FSU because Miami is playing some real good ball. And they're number 3. Oh boy, it's getting good. LSU's losing streak in offense is becoming a story. When your quarterback can't stabilize it, you're vulnerable. Mm. Wait, we can't talk about Nesmeyer. Wait, what's wrong with Nesmeyer? What happened? Oh, you don't know what? Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. A coach carousel is whispering Arkansas, FSU, maybe others soon. If they're the fatal weekends, Wait, you thought I was lying about this. If you lose, lose. You might be out there looking for another hope. I get another chance job because there's some teams that they had hope, but I can see look when we get to this calendar. Oh boy, we might have some people getting the axe. All right, so look at some. Let's talk about some players, plays, and some clutch moments. A few players locked in this week. The defensive back from Oregon with the offensive tackle pick, excuse me, with the OT pick, overtime pick. Alabama's offense stepping up when it mattered. LSU's quarterback struggled under pressure. You already know I didn't want to put no names on what they didn't want to do, you know. But the highlight is the fourth down conversion by Ole Miss. That one play changed the narrative. Georgia's collapse in Athens, missed opportunities, questionable calls, Bama avoiding mistakes. Arkansas's comeback, non existent. Notre Dame just steamrolled them. When I was sitting down going through this, and we was gonna do, we had a plan doing this on Monday, but I had to wait. Cause I was trying to, I wanted to make sure. I wanted to see some more stuff. But listen, can Oregon sustain this? The tougher road slate ahead is definitely something that's going to prove if they're really that team or are they flukes. Georgia versus who? They'll have to answer critics really fast, meaning you're going to have to come back and don't worry. It's already on your back. Georgia is number 10 in the coaches poll, number 12 in the AP. So Georgia fell and, you know, right into that mix. FSU must respond or this season slips. You might as well count the next one because they have to figure out how to stop Miami. Not easy. Now LSU is going to need to fix that offense. I mean, I'm all for seeing a quarterback. Nussmeyer might agree if the quarterback is the guy that comes in, he got the hot hand, and the quarterback is the guy that can lead you to some wins. Why not sit down? Because what are you doing? Excuse me. LSU is definitely going to be. They're going to be having a good defense and a suspect offense. Let's put it like that. You can say they have a good defense, except for that clutch fourth down play by Ole Miss. But man, and their offense is just there. FSU again is going to have to respond. The hotter seeded Arkansas is just the beginning. So before we get into these games, Week 5 told us rankings are fragile. Momentum is a beast, and nothing is guaranteed. Next week's matchups could reshape the season. Don't blink, we'll be back. Because this is the CSM365 CFP Blitz. Clutch Sports Media, the 365. But don't worry, I ain't leave y'all like that. No, I'm not leaving y'all like that. Chill out. I got you guys. Calm down. We ain't going away like that. That's just part one. I got part two because we're doing the whole show here. All right, so as we get ready to get to here, let's go back over here. Welcome everybody to the CSM365 breakdown. Thank you everybody for coming through. This is the pod where we break down the games, and as you see on your screen, we have the top 25. But right now, we're going to the schedule. All right. That was part one of my schedule. We're going to actually run back through part two. Some of it overlaps into part two to get the whole format. It's actually our podcast format. So pardon and bear with us. And if we get ready, Friday night, we got West Virginia and BYU. Oh, boys and girls, let's get ready. Hold up, folks. Yeah, I don't like when I like because my mic's right there. I be trying to not scream so much, guys. Sorry about that because it peaks so loud, and I apologize for the noise intrusion. I really do. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. As soon as it gets there. All right. Now we go, guys. College football schedule. Week week 6, right here. Okay, so my mic be low sometimes. Yeah, I be turning it down because in my headphones to be like I'm loud, but I don't know what makes sense. Okay. All right. So actually Thursday we have a game. We have a game kicking off Thursday, guys. All right. So we have some games coming up. Ooh, we got a nice slate of games Friday. We got one Thursday, Sam Houston and New Mexico State at 8 o'clock. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I can get y'all some. Let me watch right quick while I go for the pause, for the cause, P for the D. You know what we do, baby. All right. All right. All right, so it doesn't sound too bad as I get the feedback. I don't condone it. I'm just trying to make sure I don't sound horrible. Getting crucified, getting crucified. All right, y'all, here we go. Oh, oh. So as I play this, I'm gonna pause for the calls, get y'all hydration, water, anything else you need, guys. All right, I ain't played yet. That's all right, and we're back. Oh, God, that sounds so loud. Oh, my goodness. All right, folks. And it is coming. It is a little buffering. Oh, man. So, okay. Okay. All right, now. I see we're not going to get our nothing there in the play. I see it's not going to do it for us. I see. Let's go. Mm-mm. Just don't want to do it for us, right? Is it too much to ask for? You know, I'm trying to, because I mean, if you get to, these guys have to take and come off of a horrible loss and now have to face the big brother of the division. This is not looking good. Mm-mm-mm. It is not looking good for them. Oh boy, not looking good for them at all. So, when you think about it, like, bro, they really have a uphill battle coming. These guys have to. Oh God, jeez. Let me just. All right. 17 coordinators. Ooh. Power rankings: LSU drops 13 spots. BYU, Memphis, Louisville, Jordan, top 25. AP poll. Five reactions. What's next for the top 25 teams? I mean, oh wow. Look, we're just gonna skip right into let's get to the schedule. Go right to the schedule and then so because my Wolverine is playing. They playing Wisconsin Badgers this week. So we get Wolverine football this week, guys. Thank you, finally. It sucks having your team off for the week, but we get them back this week, guys. And it's Wolverine football back this week. Let's go. hmm Yeah, I'm a Wolverines fan, guys. Michigan, go blue. All right, hold on. All right, there we go. Make sure I get it. Hopefully it stops tripping now. Oh no, he's still tripping, champ. There you go. So, okay, there we go. All right, Friday or Thursday, October the 2nd. Sam Houston, New Mexico State face off, guys. And at 8 p.m., Sam Houston State is minus 2.5 on the line. The over under in this one is 52.5. If you're betting, man, give me your odds. Not really good odds, right? Especially when Sam Houston State got blowed out by Arch Manning and the Texans Longhorns. Now, as we get into Friday night games, ooh, we got Western Kentucky and Delaware Fighting Hens. When I seen them playing Deion Sanders and them team, the Buffalo, I was like, that's a real team. I really had to think about it. Is that a real team? Because I didn't believe that was a real team. Yep. So Western Kentucky and Delaware will face off, kicking things off at 6 p.m. Charlotte and South Florida. Ooh, South Florida could get an easy one, right? But then we don't know Charlotte definitely. From what I seen, a couple games I caught, they look decent, but I don't know. New Mexico, San Jose State, and we got West Virginia and BYU, Colorado State, and San Diego State. So that is our Friday matchup for week 6 to kick off. That is all right. I mean, West Virginia, we definitely want to see Pat McAfee. Y'all get BYU. Can you put up some numbers? Because y'all are traveling to Utah. Oh, and they just won a lawsuit. Well, they suing Colorado for chanting some derogatory terms for Mormons. Can't be picking with the Mormons out here in the streets, champ. Then Saturday, here we go, Saturday. All right, so I got that wrong. Kentucky and Georgia. So it's one of those blue teams. All right. I know I seen the blue uniform. I thought it was Florida, but it's Kentucky. So Kentucky and Georgia, Iowa State and Cincinnati, Michigan and Wisconsin. Okay, let's go, Michigan. We got the 12 o'clock kickoff too. Big noon kickoff. The Wolverines from Ann Arbor, Michigan. We're minus 16 and a half on the favor. Over and under is 42 and a half. Followed by that game, well, kickoff with that game is going to be Purdue, Illinois, Boston College, Pittsburgh, and then we got Belichick and Clemson. Ooh, Bill. Now, and they're playing in Chapel Hill, so Bill has home field advantage, but we're talking about Clemson. They're coming off a roll. They're coming off a ugly, man. This is, oh God, Bill and Dabo, right? To North Carolina and Clemson now, guys. All right, then we got Kansas State and Baylor, Air Force and Navy, Army and UAB, Ohio and Ball State, Wake Forest and Virginia Tech, UTSA and Temple, Campbell and North Carolina State, Western Michigan and Massachusetts, Oklahoma State, Arizona, and then we get to some good games. All right, here we go. Penn State is okay. So Penn State doesn't get Ohio State. They get UCLA. They get 230 easy one. Like not really an easy one, folks, but you get one that's manageable for you to come off of to get upset. You get one that you can manage. UCLA and Penn State. Then Texas. Okay, this is the Florida coming off the loss to Miami. Now facing Arch Manning and Texas. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm not condoning this slaughter that may happen, but Texas and Florida, oh my goodness. I see Texas just walking in there, and maybe Florida puts up a battle. Maybe Napier has them ready for action, and they get it done. They're playing in Gainesville. The line is Texas minus 6.5. The over under is 41.5. So it's not outrageous. However, the game behind that is Vanderbilt in Alabama. Oh boy, Roadside Road and Vanderbilt, the Commodores. Oh man. Now, if you know, last year they tore the goalpost down and rolled through town with it after they upset, right? Okay. So this year, the line is 10.5 for Alabama and over and under is 56.5. So they already know because Vanderbilt has been on the roll. They're undefeated. They've been squashing their opponents. And Alabama, yes, they beat Georgia, but they allowed Georgia to get back in it. I mean, you're playing a team like Vanderbilt. You mess around and a mistake, and they might have your number. It might don't be no roll tide roll. We got to see because this is going to be a good one. Vanderbilt and Alabama, yes. Then we got Boise State. Notre Dame. Oh my goodness, they got better. See, even talking about they hit us with all the stuff, the fluff. They hit us with all the stuff that rises to the top, right? When you're making a cream, right? And then we get to the Boise, Notre Dame, Virginia, Louisville, Washington, Maryland, well, UL Monroe and Northwestern. I mean, Oregon State, App State, Syracuse, and SMU might be a good one. Might be a good one. Florida International and UConn. Shout out to D Butts. His team might have to get one out that one. Georgia State and James Madison. We don't know Akron and Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan and Buffalo, Miami, Ohio, and Northern Illinois. And then we get Kent State and Oklahoma. Okay. Now this is where we get this. And then I have to use this right here. You mean to tell me number 5, Oklahoma and Kent State, 3 o'clock. Oklahoma, I think maybe without the core. I'm going to have to see. We're going to go in and look into some of them. But honestly, Oklahoma and Kent State. Oklahoma has been going through their opponents. They even did my Michigan Wolverines dirty. And now they get Kent State. Now, even if Kent State had a upset under their belt, I don't see them upsetting Oklahoma. So this is one of those games where okay, now the next one is going to be interesting because Nebraska wants to repay the state of Michigan because Michigan just went in there and did what? Upset those corn huskers. I'm making a light of it, but yes, Nebraska and Dylan Raiola and Matt Rule, they're they're not slouch. However, Michigan State, they're coming off their loss to USC. They want to keep going, and this is in Lincoln, so Nebraska has home field advantage, and Michigan State, I could see them upsetting Nebraska. Matt Rule has turned that program around. They're playing better ball, but I don't know. Maybe Nebraska gets it. Now then we get Arkansas State, Texas State. Then we got a Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion. We get the Texas Tech and the Houston. Now Houston and Texas Tech is going to be good. Houston is undefeated for the first time in a long time. Texas Tech is ranked number 11. Oh boy, yes, finally 6 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. We got a good one from Houston. So Houston, who did they play last week? Oh, I'm trying to think of who they played last week because they held on. They held on to You know what I'm saying? They held on in that game. They were the ones that won Friday night, last Friday. But Texas Tech, number 11, I can see them upsetting Houston. Now, then we go UNLV and Wyoming. I'm riding UNLV. Wyoming, they from the game I did see, Wyoming is good. I'm shocked. I didn't think they was good, but hey, might have to stick it out with UNLV. 6 p.m. Then we get South Alabama and Troy, Florida Atlantic and Rice, Minnesota and Ohio. Okay, now listen. In the NFL, I always reiterate this point about division rivals. They know each other. They play each other twice, so they kind of got a feel for each other. They might get blowed out by another team, but playing a division rival really, really close. In college, these guys can be in the same conference and maybe not play each other, but Minnesota and Ohio State, it looks like Ohio State will be number one another week. I'm just going to call it because there's a 23 and a half favorite for the Buckeyes, and the over under is 45 and a half. So Ohio State and Minnesota definitely going to be a crazy one because I don't know if Minnesota has enough in the tank to tank Ohio State. Maybe, but they're on NBC and Peacock. Okay, then we get the game that we were talking about in the beginning. Florida State coming off of that ugly loss to Virginia. Virginia sends their applause over for helping them get into the top 25. Has to now face number 3, Miami, at 6:30 on ABC. Let the fireworks get lit. Light them up, folks. Light them up. This is going to be Miami. I'm not even going to say Miami's test. I'm going to say this is going to be Florida's rebound test. Can they bounce back against a top tier opponent? Because this is where they're going to question. You beat Alabama, you lose to Virginia, and now you have to play Miami. Oh boy, this is golden. Golden. Do you hear me? Golden, y'all. Listen. Mm. Now, I'm not going to harp too much on them, but just know Miami, number 3, and Florida State, number 18. Florida State might don't be ranked next week. They might not even be in the top 25 next week. Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Okay, another good one. Mississippi State held on. They held on when facing Tennessee, and they got it, but Tennessee got it. You know what I'm saying? So now they get Texas A&M, number 6. Now A&M, the Aggies, they're good. Listen, you talk about some speedsters, they're good. So the latter part of the games, the night games, they got some decent matchups. Colorado and TCU. Okay, Dion gets to see excuse me, Dion gets to see if his quarterback can continue with that performance that he had the other last game. Because man, TCU they're coming off a loss to Arizona State. Arizona State's another team that wants to thank you for helping them get to the top 25. They took TCU spot. So now TCU definitely will try and rebound. And Colorado is another test because that's a worthy opponent, despite the record, they're a good team. Now, we got Kansas and UCF. UCF is way now. If I had to just close my eyes and say Kansas, UCF, I'm saying UCF. But Kansas has found ways to win games. UCF, they just go. Then we get Tulsa and Memphis. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Duke. I watched Duke and oh, I was looking at it. It was Duke. I don't think it was Clemson, or was it Duke and Carolina? Mm. All right. Well, Duke and California. And California is one of those teams that it shocked me when I did watch a game they had. And then we round out that night, the late game with Nevada and Fresno. Fresno State beat Hawaii 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, 2 weeks ago. So I can see Fresno State getting Nevada. I can look at Duke probably losing to California. I can see Tulsa and Memphis battling it. Maybe even Kansas and UCF going back and forth for a minute. Colorado might even pull this one out. Might get to this game, and Colorado might have a 7-3 lead or something. You never know. But guys, the ones we're going to be looking at are Miami and Florida State, Minnesota, Ohio. Okay, those games, right? Those games. Texas Tech and Houston. We're gonna see how this is gonna reshape some of the landscape, you know, because the landscape has already been changed. Then we get Texas and Florida. Can Florida find something to get back in it? Can they? Because Lagway has not looked good in none of his thoughts. The coaching doesn't look like they are in tuned. I mean, doesn't look good. Then I want to see my Wolverines and Wisconsin win a whole week. I want to see Kentucky and Georgia because Kentucky held on against Florida. I think that was Florida they held on against, and they lost to Florida. So that was a game that Florida actually did do good in. No, that was South Carolina. I think it was. We're gonna, man. I got the notes in my notebook, but guys, college football week 6 is here, and it's it's not as exciting as last week with the marquee matchups, but we have some fairly decent matchups that are lining up, to, on this one. Not a whole bunch like Illinois and Purdue definitely could be a good one. Both of those teams are shockers. You know, it starts off kind of fairly, stimulating, then it just goes somewhere else. But let's see. Let me get some. Pull up. I was in a video I was looking at earlier. Let me pull it up right quick. And then I'm gonna go into part 2 of the script before we get up out of here. And that was going to give us our breakdown review of week 5. And even through a preview in there for week 6. Can't wait till the action starts off. Oh, because we got to come back and do the breakdown of the NFL week 4. Yeah. So you're in the back to backs. You know what I'm saying? You're in the back to backs. And then tomorrow we got power rankings dropping. We drop our power rankings on Wednesdays. Power rankings will drop Wednesdays. So just know our NFL power rankings drop Wednesday. I'm going to make sure I make a post and let y'all know about those things, guys, to keep y'all in the loop. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I mean, come on. All right, there we go. Hold on, folks. All right. Hold up. Don't worry. I'm right here, champs. Here we go, champs. Here we go. We're moving a little slow. The movement too slow for me. It'd be all right if it didn't just, decide to take a number 2 in the middle of what I'm doing. Be all right. All right, hold on. Here we go. It's coming around, folks. Sorry for the inconvenience. What's his name? Gotta put me a video in the middle of that for y'all. We don't be having this lingeringness. I'm sitting around doing nothing. It's coming. Anyway, the big picture results in headlines. Guys, we got some key results and upsets. And as I'm getting ready for the working duck, the Ducks pulled overtime to stun the Nitty Lions. Yes, it was beautiful. The whiteout will never be the same. I don't think anybody will look at a duck the same after that night. Alabama 24-21 over Georgia on Georgia's turf. Bama forced a turnover late, leaned on Ty Simpson's clutch drive, and snapped Georgia's 33 game home win streak. Snapped the 33 game home win streak. Yes, you heard me right. Mm. They screaming, roll, Tide, roll. Then Ole Miss over LSU. Mm-mm-mm. Rebels upset LSU in Oxford, shaking up the SEC. Illinois 34-32, a back and forth war. Illinois' resilience showed lead. Lead. It showed the fight not to lose and held it on late. Illinois gets the dub over USC after USC upset Michigan State, and then only to go in and get upset by Illinois, who was upset by Indiana. It makes for a hot mess. Then we got Notre Dame 56-13 over Arkansas. Destruction in Little Rock. Arkansas folded, and now there's coaching rumors that are heating up. Tennessee dropped the 41 in overtime to knock off Mississippi State. The Vols hit overtime once again, and it came through clutch. Now, I'm not saying Tennessee has a problem. However, you know what happened to the Bucks with these late game wins. Just saying, gotta pay attention now. Mississippi State held on. They had to take it all the way down to OT. That is, how much this is what makes us feel good about having college football a favorite. The next minute, you're like, what the hell just happened? Then when you see what happened, you're like, I don't believe it. Yeah, believe it. Oregon jumps close to the top, riding that momentum after the PSU. I like that PSU update. The update is PSU has fallen, stunned at the whiteout. They took the white out. Hmm. Alabama gets back into the top 10 while Georgia falls. Guys, Florida State fumbles and tumbles after the loss to Virginia. Arkansas slide, definitely a real thing. And LSU dropped to Ole Miss. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about it. And I just want to pull this video up as it's coming. Mm-mm-mm. Now, this week right here, guys, is a statement week. Teams are bent, some broke, but it's a real meeting. Like you're getting the real middle of the season pack right now. You're getting what we all know is you win or go home. Because guess what? This is where you get exposed, where you think you might be safe. Now, upset, tight finishes, and heartbreaks, the kind of stuff that the weekend feels us all. So let this narrative build, and guess what? Let's get all right. Those- All right, so right here is the USC Illinois game. This was a crazy game. Not gonna lie to y'all, this was a crazy game. See what I'm saying? They had turned the ball over, turned the ball over, and turned it back over, regain the lead, take the lead, lose the lead, get the lead, all kind of stuff going on in this game. But see, it felt like, oh, we got this game. There it goes. That's great, man. That SC defense is a monster. Look at it. They were getting after Michigan State defense, Michigan State offense. They had it the whole night. And there goes a turnover right there. Another touchdown. Mm-hmm. And I mean, USC would get back in this game, guys. I mean, they literally had a chance. They went back in it for a second. And look at that right there. Especially after when, like I said, they got belt to feet by Indiana a week ago. Came back and they had to handle business against USC. On a 4th and 7. On a 4th and 7. Huh. This is why I said this game got way more interesting as it went on. Because right there, oh, sure enough did. He was about to be in the end zone. This is what is what. Look at this fumble. This is, you can make this game up if you scripted it yourself, guys. Mm, 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 mm. That dude right there came through clutch lemon, spinning and moving and getting to the first. I mean, he was moving the ball, and just like that, USC got back in the game. Look at USC get the lead. Like I said, they took the lead, man, and then they got it back. Wow, man, it was crazy. The game was, we're talking, what, 103, 50 something seconds left in the game, and they running the ball straight at USC, running the ball with no way to stop the clock. Just go with it, running it. And now they send a field goal unit out for the win. And of course, Illinois with the upset. Man, when I tell you, you had excitement, and like I said in my show notes, right, when I was getting ready, right, you had turnovers and upsets. And this one right here, hold on, let's get this one. K State and I forgot who he's from, and UCF. Oh, UCF with the pivot, telling you. Mm, it's crazy, baby. That day, I'm telling you, it's only gonna be good this weekend. Almost a pick. Look like they're trying to trade picks out here. Mm, couldn't hold on to the pass. Being catch. Oh, there it goes. There goes the picks trade. Trading picks down here. Mm-hmm. Trading picks out here. Yeah. Just like that. 2 yards. Mm-mm-mm. And they get back in there, huh? Mm-mm-mm. Thank you. All right. We back. I think we back. Oh, we back. Wait a minute. We back, right? Yeah, we back. All right. Making sure we back. Oh, yeah, we back. Well, I'm going through all the chats, putting some notes in the chat for people, man. Let them know what we doing. It's the CFP Blitz. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like my, kind of like, oh no, I went to the wrong page. Oh God, sorry. Went to the wrong page. All right, guys, sorry about that. Pause. Back to the CFP Blitz. Oh, come on. Hold up. We got a little technical difficulties with the soundboard and the microphone. I went to mute the mic. I went to mute the mic and cut the soundboard off. Sorry. Vacation. Water break. Just did it again, right? All right. All right. So, soundboard. No, soundboard just cut out again, guys. Sorry about the technicals. It is when the soundboard decides to die. Who is having that? So I'm trying to get my freaking nothing seems to want to connect. Guys, hold up. We might have and start back over. See, there it goes. I can. All right. Here we go. Stuck in yield. So right now, folks. Exactly. Start the soundboard over. No. It's horrible. So definitely restarting, guys. So pardon me. Club Sports Media 365. I appreciate everybody. Our next stream will be the NFL breakdown review, the NFL Blitz, where we go straight into week. So we'll set that stream up. We'll be back with that. All right. right, now we're getting up. We got this Blitz episode on Rumble. So this technically one. The next episode we put up is going to be our NFL episode 1 on Rumble. The break. What a way to start! What a way to start! What a way to start this shit. Mm-hmm.